What is up, everyone? It's DV, and today we're actually going to have another episode on how to get to your first 1,000 subs on YouTube. If you didn't watch my first video on how to reach your first 100 subs, you should watch that now because it is going to be vital for you to understand all those steps before you get to 1,000 subs. Because if you don't have the basics down yet, then you're probably just going to be, struggling with your first 1,000. And similar to the topic, if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's go ahead and get to this. So I'm going to be actually playing a little bit of Arsenal here while I talk. Hope that's okay with you. This video is not just for Roblox, just so you know. So if you don't really do anything with games, this video can actually still help you and your channel. So if you're still under 100 subs, you should really be focusing on that first video, but this will still help you, even if you're, trying to just like get ahead a little bit and want to understand like what's next, what's after 100 subs, even though you're maybe at like 20 or 30 or 40. Now, the number one thing I want you to focus on when we're talking about, growing your sub base is content. So obviously content, and content focus. Again, if you don't have content focus, you've pretty much already lost the fight, right? You've already lost the fight for getting your first, 1,000 subs because you have no focus, you have no consistency, and it's incredibly important that you have consistency and focus to your channel. That is going to get you the fastest growth over, just posting a lot and posting a lot of random stuff. A lot of people just kind of randomly post things, and they post like videos like that just don't make any sense for, content. So for example, you might have someone that posts like, Fortnite and then jumps over to Call of Duty, and then at least those are shooters in their brain. Hey, if I play Fortnite, someone's going to watch me play, Call of Duty, right? And that's completely wrong. That can be, further from the truth of the reality of how YouTube channels work and how audiences work. Imagine, you figure, okay, I'm gonna make a sports channel, I'm gonna focus on boxing, and say you post like 10 videos about boxing. Well, your first subscribers that really blew up your channel are all fans of boxing, and so you're like, well, I also like baseball, so I'm gonna go or basketball, and I'm gonna go start making some basketball or baseball videos. And then you go do that, and the problem is those fans of your channel that first subscribe to you are all boxing fans. They don't really care about any other sport, and so what happens is you completely pulled the plug on them by forcing them into a sport that they don't even care about. Imagine someone switches, your channel that you were watching and goes to a Western movie. Just because it's a movie channel doesn't mean everyone likes the same genre. So you can say, well, my channel is going to be focused on FPS shooters. My channel is about, Battle Royale. And even Battle Royale, like, games don't actually mix and match. Like, just because you like Fortnite doesn't mean it's going to appeal to a PUBG player, right? Especially, for Roblox. Roblox is obviously a gaming platform. It's generally targeting younger audiences, but these days it's kind of aging up, so anyone can actually watch it and play it, right? So you can be any age and play Roblox. My point though is just because I have a gaming channel, dedicated to Roblox games, it doesn't mean that I can just go and play any Roblox game on that channel, especially if I, focus on like one particular game for a while. And so in my case, like my main channel that has it's like almost 160,000 subscribers right now, it started out with a game called Islands, right? So not really started out, but it really blew up and took off with a game called Islands. So the problem is, even though I have a really successful, Roblox channel, it doesn't mean I could just go and post any Roblox video that I want and that it's going to be successful, right? So what you need to do is have content focus, and that is incredibly important. You have to sacrifice at times for something else. So like if you really want to blow up your channel, you have to kind of figure out, well, what do you want to sacrifice? Now, you could be a variety content creator. It is really, really hard to be a variety content creator. Mr. Beast, for example, would be someone that's a variety content creator. He can play Minecraft, he can play Call of Duty, he can play whatever he wants. But the thing is, he's got the personality, he's got the unique spin with how he does his videos. He's just a natural talent. And so if you're looking at trying to do variety content, like I said, it's really hard. It's really challenging as a creator to do that kind of stuff. It's not easy for anyone to just go and become a variety content creator. And even for me, I had to actually create a separate channel. After I was established, I had to create a separate channel that was variety. But here's the thing. So again, content focus, I can't emphasize that enough. Without content, consistency, you're pretty much, you're already stunting your growth. So like you could do like a channel about like story games, you could do a channel about like horror games, piggy style games. Like that's the kind of focus I'm talking about. Like if I, for Islands, I can actually do Islands. I could do Build a Boat for Treasure. I could do a lot of different building games, but I just can't go and play like Bee Swarm on my main channel or like Arsenal on my main channel expected to do really well. It might do okay. It might get like, 10% of my subs might watch it, especially those that are actually super loyal to, watching anything I post, but that's such a small percentage of your audience. So again, again, focus on, especially for your initial growth, you really want to focus on content consistency here and like a theme, right? A topic, a subject that you're going to stick with. So again, focus on content, consistency. Now, the next thing is content topics. So like out of that, subject that you're posting, what's going to be interesting and pull the views? What's going to go viral? And it's not just virality here. It's about like, okay, so you can create content that's going to go viral, but what about, stuff that people are actually searching for? Because if you don't have search volume, then you're pretty much dead in water. So that is the second key component here is what do you post about, right? What do you make content for that topic? And what I would say is like, so for example, I started with this whole boxing thing. It's not even games related, but the boxing aspect here, say you actually did a new channel, and what I would do is I would be looking for things that people are searching for, not things that you think is interesting, but what are people are actually going to be searching for. And there's a couple techniques. I'm actually going to show you a couple tips here on how to figure out what people are searching for. And it's so important. This is what really blew up my channel initially without even Roblox Islands. So what I did was I'll give you an example here of this video called like how to tame the cat and break-in. It actually blew up. So initially it performed really poorly, and then later on it kind of blew up. And so what I would say is you really need to focus on like what are things that people are searching for, and you're going to get the subs naturally from that. That's just going to be a natural cause because you're creating content that people are actually like looking for, right? They're actually searching for it. And so what's going to happen is instead of you having to send a bunch of traffic to your channel yourself and promoting it yourself, which we already covered on how to do that inside your first 100, now YouTube's actually going to start working for you. So YouTube's basically a search engine, no different than like a Google search engine. So if you're really thinking about, okay, like how do I take Google and make it work for me, right? How do I make it work for me? And YouTube actually uses the Google search engines. It actually has the same, power as the Google search engine. So if you think about, when you're making content, really looking at like, how do I make content that people are searching for? And that should be your initial content. And there should be so much for you to choose from there. So you're not going to have any problems with your initial content coming up with stuff. You should be able to come up with stuff really easy early on, because there's so much that you can actually find. So what I would suggest is if you're taking this, strategy initially, go to YouTube and say you're doing a subject about like boxing, or let's just, for the sake of, example, let's type in break-in, right? Roblox break-in. And then we're going to do a how-to. So how-to videos are actually usually highly searched because people are always looking for how to do stuff. So if you're looking for content that you can easily create videos for, then how-tos are really, really good because people are always searching for how-tos, like how to make this, how to do that. And so especially with games, that would be a really good topic for you to do. So what you can do is you can just go and type in like YouTube break-in how-to, and that's all you do. Just type in how-to, and what we're going to see is all these results that are popping up. There's basically like auto-populating like suggestions, right? So search suggestions. And what those are doing is basically telling you what people are typically searching for. They're trying to predict. It's YouTube's automatic prediction based on what people are typically searching for. So if it's going through what people are searching for typically, then you already know that's the video I need to create, right? Now you already know, this is what people are going to be searching my channel for. So what I did is you can see here how to tame a cat inside a break-in. I actually did a video on that. So that was one of my early videos, and I just did a test, and sure enough, it worked. It really worked. And so like again, you don't really need to do crazy content ideas initially, especially if you're just trying to establish a fan base inside of it, whatever the subject is. So if you're doing boxing, for example, though, you can pretty much just go and type in boxing and then see what's coming up. So see what's coming up first from a trending standpoint. Trending's huge. Trending's what's going to give you views, and it's relevant, it's current, and so you just need to go through that like little process there, and it works every time. So I do this often. I always check to see like what are people searching for right now, and what can I create content for. So the other thing is that you can do is create reference materials, like references like the top 10 boxers of all time, the top 10 horror games of all time, the top 10 piggy games of all time. Lists are really, really good. I've actually, if you look at my channel, one of the top videos that I have is like the top, 20 simulators. It's actually a really, successful video for me. It's gotten like over 600,000 views. It's crazy considering how many subs I have. I don't even have anything near 600,000 subs, but yeah, look at all the number of views. People love it because they're using it as reference. They're coming back to it because it's reference. And so that's important, right? So when you're creating content, it's important that you actually have content that you can actually reference. So again, looking at things that people are going to be searching for is key for your content. So again, narrowing the topic. So stick with a very consistent topic, and then narrowing, down, like, especially if it takes a while, it's okay if you establish like a game that you really like, as long as the search traffic's there. If the search volume is not there on whatever game or topic you're, wanting to build on, unfortunately, you're going to be slow growing, because if no one cares about the topic you care about, you're pretty much on the hard road, the long journey to get the subs, versus something that's really hot right now, something that's being searched a lot right now. So example, how Mr. Beast did it. Again, Mr. Beast is a great example of success. You know, what he did was he really utilized the keywords. What are people searching? And they were searching about PewDiePie quite a bit. And so what he did is he actually earned a lot of his success from, you know, making videos about PewDiePie and how much money does PewDiePie make? How much does a YouTuber make every month? So he actually had it really down with, you know, how to just kind of banking off of, you know, PewDiePie's numbers. And it's actually really smart. It's a good strategy. So, you know, if you really wanted to go big, you can do stuff like that. You know, again, you're looking for subjects people are interested in. Unfortunately, some people do this stuff where it's like, you know, clickbaity kind of stuff. Stay away from. It's going to stunt your growth. You know, you might get like the immediate surge at least at first, but you got people that are going to be really angry with you. They might just leave you subbed, but they're probably not going to watch you that often. There's a lot of YouTubers that do clickbait stuff, and you'll notice that unless it's like really kind of mild, like it's okay to do like, you know, exaggerations different than clickbait, right? So if you're exaggerating completely, it's different, right, than clickbait. So clickbait is when you're completely outright lying or making stuff up. So if it's true though, and it's actually you actually show whatever you're saying. So like I said, if it's just like, check out this amazing, crazy, unique, never seen before thing that I did in this game, that's kind of exaggeration. It's kind of white lies in a sense, because you're saying something that's not really true, but it, you know, you might believe it, so they might forgive it. So that's kind of like an okay, whatever. But if you said, I just found this, you know, unique sword that has never been, you know, found before, and, you know, I got it, you know, everyone's trying to search for something, and you actually found it, but you didn't, you know, you think you know where it's at, you know, things like that. It's just like, it's super clickbaity. You let them down. They watched your entire video, and you never gave them what they were hoping to get. And that's completely clickbait. It's unethical. And what's going to happen is you're going to get, you know, a lot less likes. You're going to have less affinity with those, you know, subscribers. And again, you just want to keep your moral compass close. In other words, what I'm saying, keep your moral compass close. It doesn't mean you can't exaggerate. You know, that's definitely going to give you views. Like one of my favorite, you know, YouTubers, he actually like creates like these crazy thumbnails and actually edits stuff. He might overly exaggerate something to a point where it's like, you look at the Photoshop and you're like, dude, that doesn't look real, you know, but it's close enough. It's just exaggerated in the thumbnail. So consider, you know, keep your moral compass close, and you know, having trust, having integrity will actually create an even more loyal fan base. They're going to stick with you. They're going to like you for, you know, you creating content, and those are the people that are going to stick with you for a long time. Now let's talk about titles. So your titles of your videos are so important, as are your thumbnails, but let's focus on the titles, and we won't even get into keywords for this video. Keywords and descriptions, they help, but they aren't the absolute. So they're not going to make or break your channel, right? So, you know, if you have like the wrong keywords and stuff, it's okay, no big deal. Like if you just don't even have keywords or descriptions, it's okay. Your video is still going to place. There's other aspects of the algorithm that actually help you. So again, you don't really need to worry about what we call the meta. The meta would be like metadata, like keywords and descriptions, okay? So you don't need to worry about any of that yet. That's more advanced stuff. Once you start growing and stuff, you can start, you know, noodling with that. But if you can't operate and get views without that meta, you know, those meta tags, then something else is wrong. Something more at the core is wrong with your channel and what you're doing. So let's focus on the title and the thumbnails here in this next piece. So your title should be very clear. So a lot of people make things very either too ambiguous or too detailed, right? So they either put way too much detail and way too many, like they're trying to describe the world to people, or they leave out too much and they just be like, playing Arsenal. It's like, well, what happened in playing Arsenal? Like playing Arsenal without sound, that's more interesting than like just playing Arsenal. It's like, okay, you know, playing Arsenal while making a video about, you know, how to gain 1,000 subs. I mean, obviously that's way too long of a title, but you know, it's more interesting than like, okay, how did he do while he was, you know, doing a full-on like tutorial on how to gain subs? I'm doing pretty poorly, but you know, I'm surviving, you know, again. So you want to have some unique titles each time, because what's going to change, like if I went to your channel, then if I saw 30 videos with the same title, I'm not likely to continue watching the next one, right? Because it's probably like this one, and it's just a bunch of gameplay compilations, and people don't really care to watch compilations like that unless it's something that's visually like appealing. Shooters are kind of, you know, as a side tangent for people that are looking to, you know, make shooter videos. Shooters are very tactile. You know, you kind of have to be the one at the controls, really. You're not going to be able to have like a really huge audience watching you play shooters. So you're looking for a really unique content title so that people know what to expect. If your titles are ambiguous, you know, ambiguous meaning unclear, you know, kind of like loosely termed, too vague, you know, like, okay, Arsenal gaming, playing Arsenal with friends, I'm not going to click on that video. I'm sorry. No matter how much you can try to convince me to watch that video, I'm not spending the time on a video like that. But if you said, I killed all of my friends in Arsenal and they raged, you know, or something like that, then, you know, that would be actually something I would be like, okay, I want to see their friends rage. I want to see the friends rage. So again, you know, you need to have like a really unique content title. You know, if you can have it based on a keyword, even better. So if it's on particular things people are searching for, even better, right? But, you know, know, it's okay just as long as all the different videos actually had different meaning or subjects. So give me a good description in your title, but make it short and sweet. So again, you don't want to make it super long to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't even read this. It's like too many keywords. It's just, I got to take like a minute to read your title. You want to keep things short and sweet. You don't need to like explain everything in your title. Where you really kind of have this mix and this really nice balance between your title and thumbnail is try to explain or describe things that you wish you could have put in the title in your side of your thumbnail, but don't put a bunch of text in your thumbnail either. So talking about thumbnails, a lot of people early on, they try to shove so much information into their thumbnail. And what happens is it's like I'm looking at a scrapbook or a ransom letter. So, you know, thumbnails should describe everything without words if you can. And if you had to put words, use it to support whatever your title is. So for getting to your first 1,000 subs, obviously I'm going to put how to get, you know, first 1,000 subs on YouTube. And then I'm probably going to put a YouTube logo or something on it. That's it. I'm not going to put anything related to Arsenal here. Again, if you check out this video's thumbnail, it's going to be very clear and short and sweet. And so is my title. I really don't need to, you know, exaggerate anything in my title. I'm just putting something in my title that describes what you're going to expect. And hopefully when you clicked on this video, you know, knew what to expect here, that we're going to show you tips on how to get your first 1,000 subs, right? So, you know, thumbnail is incredibly important. Keep things minimal. Don't focus so much on your brand as well. Like no one knows who you are. I think I mentioned that inside my first video here. So on how to get to 100 subs is no one really cares. No one cares about what you look like yet. No one cares about, I mean, you could put your face, like if you're going to actually show your face and stuff, I mean, that's okay. You can do that, you know, to establish your brand, but most people don't care about your logo. Most people don't care about your, you know, your avatar yet, but eventually they will, right? So eventually you can start doing that. Like all my videos on my main channel, I always include my avatar if I can, because it's a familiar brand. People know what my avatar looks like. It's familiar. If you know who DV is on Roblox, then you're probably more likely to click on that video out of, you know, search results, because you recognize me. Even if they haven't seen me in a while, at least they remember who I am. So, you know, they'll probably click on it and check out the video. Especially with your topics, people don't really need to know, like, okay, if you're talking boxing, you don't need to spell out boxing in your thumbnail, right? Put an image of someone like a boxer that you're allowed to use, obviously, that you have permission to use. And then you're going to put something in the title, like best whatever, best moves, best that, you know, and then whatever's in your title. So again, you gotta find that healthy balance between your thumbnail and the actual like title, and use those together. So many people that I've seen, you know, especially when I'm trying to coach like people on how to do thumbnails, they put way too much. They put way too much in their thumbnail, and I feel like they're trying to shove so much in there. And what they also do is like really way too much text, which requires them to, you know, make small fonts. And so what you need to do is consider, you know, what is the message you're trying to convey, and try to follow the same, you know, technique that headlines use for magazines. You know, what do? They do big, bold fonts. I recommend that, especially if you don't really have a brand style yet. Big, bold fonts are good. Find a style that works for you and stick with it. Eventually, people are going to recognize your thumbnails out of a bunch of other thumbnails. That's why I don't really change my thumbnails that much, is because people, you know, recognize my thumbnails, right? So they see my thumbnail and they recognize it. So why would I change anything up if I know people are going to recognize me? So now that you got the basics down, so you understand, okay, you got your content down, let's talk about cadence, update cadence. So what, you know, your videos, how often do you do videos? Because that's an important piece to talk about. You know, I do actually daily videos on my main account, but I don't do daily videos on my other accounts. And the only reason why I do that is because it does make it different. So if you're doing daily videos, you're more likely to get a consistent following and grow out really fast, because you have, you know, you're increasing your chances for getting lots and lots of views, right? So you're getting lots and lots of views as a result, and you're going to hit on, you got more chances to hit on that killer viral video based on whatever topic or search volume there is, right? So you might create a video on something that, you know, is really hot right now and everyone's searching just by accident, you know, maybe not even by intention. And people are also going to start going to you as a daily destination. People are very habitual, meaning they have a ritual, a routine that they like to have every day. And so if they know you're going to post a new video every day, they're going to be more likely to come and visit your channel every day. And that just is going to help you with your views. It's going to help you with watch time. It's going to help you with all the different algorithm points that YouTube really desires and loves. And this is really why I believe I became one of the, you know, trending content creators for July as a trending channel. So that was a huge honor for me to get featured by YouTube. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do daily videos for you to be successful on YouTube. Let me just make that very clear. You could actually create a video, you know, once a week and still be very successful on YouTube. And there's even YouTubers that create content like, geez, once every like couple months or so. And they're, you know, millions plus subs. They're like, some of them are like, you know, 10, 20 million subs, but they really focused on quality content that's going to go viral. So what they didn't do is they didn't waste any time with short videos, and they made sure, I mean, they know their structure. They're just genius, you know, content creators. They know what they're doing. So you really need to, you know, focus on content, again, that is going to go viral if you're going to go fewer updates. So you got to increase your quality to continue to get the views that you would have if you went more frequent. So that just also means you need to have quality production. You need to have something, like I said, that's going to go viral, that people are going to really love to watch over and over and over and share with others, right? So again, focus on quality if you're going to do less often, and consider your schedule. Just because you maybe have a lot of time right now doesn't mean you're going to always have that time. So like if you start like a channel during the summer or winter, maybe you have a lot of time, during that time. Think about how is it during the most busy time of your life, do you have enough time to stick with dailies? And you can't really reverse that. If you kind of break your routine, it really penalizes you with your fan base. So if you can actually devote one video per week on your channel, then I think you're going to be fine with just once a week. And so like my channel here, my DV Pays to Win channel is actually, I started that out, and I was doing like a video maybe every week or two, and it's already grown a lot. It's kind of going viral, and some of my videos that I post are exploding. So again, you're looking at your schedule and just make sure you can commit to it and cadence for your updates on your videos, and that way people are like eager to see your next video versus forgetting about you. If you kind of pace it too far out and your content's not all that great, no one's gonna really care, and they're gonna forget about you, and your views are gonna go down, your subs are gonna start plummeting. And what happens is if it's too long between videos, then you'll start reversing your subs. If your videos aren't still viral and they're just kind of meh, then you're gonna start reversing your sub count, and it's actually gonna start going in the negative every day. Posting at least some consistent cadence is important. Now let's talk about another strategy here that is called streaming. So a lot of people actually stream and they do get 1,000 subs very quickly. That is a result of just you're basically getting a better chance to get indexed on the YouTube feeds, because YouTube does actually prioritize streamers. If I were to stream Arsenal right now, I'll definitely get subs. If I was live streaming Arsenal, I'd definitely get a bunch of subs. So if someone's searching Roblox right now or Arsenal on YouTube, then my stream would come up, right? So again, it's really good to stream if you can. You're going to grow slowly with that, but it will be growth. Either way, it will be growth. But the problem is if you've solely relied on live streams to grow, it's going to be really slow going. You might get like 10 to 20 subscribers each stream. So it's going to take you a long time to get your first 1,000 that way. So it's going to be supplemental. I actually live stream supplemental, even though I get like, up to like 5,000 viewers when I do stream. I do it just to supplement things as part of an event to get everyone excited about, some content that I'm actually working on. And I get a lot of subscribers during that day that I actually stream. And again, it's just, I use it supplemental. So I don't primarily use it to drive most of my subs, right? Use it to supplement your subscribers. Don't use it solely, because if you don't do like archived content, meaning like, an actual like video that you create versus just a live stream, your growth is going to be stunted. So again, you really want to focus on content that can be featured, and that's going to give you a lot of subs 24/7 versus a stream that's going to give you maybe subs for that 1 hour, 2 hours that you stream. So you can supplement it. It's not going to be a sole method, but if you're dead, if your subs are completely dead, definitely supplement some live streams. That will definitely help, assuming you're streaming a topic that is actually of interest to people. So let's go over to my DV Pays to Win channel, and let's look into some stats here, because I typically don't show this kind of stuff, but especially on my main channel, but I'm going to show you on this channel because I think it'll help you just get an idea of how things look when you're actually starting to gain your subs and stuff. So let's dive into some analytics here, because I'm not monetized yet, so I don't really have an issue showing you this stuff. But you can see here, I actually started my channel on January 10th here, and you can see right here, this is like day one. I got 1,000 subs from my own shout out. So we were able to make over 1,000 subscribers the first day, and the next day, trickled down to 930, and then it went down further, and then it started dying out. Look at the death of the subs. And then I posted a video and it kind of did a little thunk. Then I did another video and it didn't really move much for subscribers. So these are pretty much all of my existing subs right here, right? Not a lot. I mean, some of them are actually brand new. I'll show you how to check that in a minute. And then you can see it started dying. I only got like 30, but look at the big gap between content here. And then this is probably another shout out here. So you can see this little bump is probably me shouting out my own channel again. And then it died back down. And then you can see I did a video and then it just started going back up. And this is probably from my Bee Swarm video. Yeah. So you can see I got a bunch of, subs from my Bee Swarm video, and then it's starting to die back down. And then I just did another video the other day and now it's back up. So this tells you, content is important. Your channel will start dying on subs just because, it's doing well at first doesn't mean it's going to continue doing well. And then, I've got my watch time up to 4.7 thousand hours. So this is important. We'll talk about like monetization in my next video, because the methods I'm telling you here will actually help you go beyond 1,000. I might cover a little bit more, but at this point, after this video, I'm really going to be focusing on things like how do you get monetized? How do you get your account verified? How do you get Discord partnered? All that kind of stuff. And how do you grow your community and continue to really, noodle with some of the strategies to continue the growth on your channel. And so let's go over to content real quick, and then let's go into each of these. So let's kind of scroll back a little bit. Let's look at this one first, right? So you can click on analytics here, and what you're going to see is this video has gotten 12,000 views since it was published. So we don't really care about that. What we care about is this one. So these stats right here, it says 1.1 thousand subs, right? So this is important to look at whenever you post a video. Always look at the subscribers in the analytics for that video, because if it goes negative, it means you should not post that video again. You should stop doing that kind of content. I actually have a lot of those on my main channel. I've actually posted videos that would cause me to lose subs, and so I stopped making videos like that would cause me to lose subs. So this one actually gave me a lot of subs. Now this is just because, you know, partly because of the shout out that I did. So people, you know, I shouted this video out a couple times. But let's go over here and look at this one, because this is a little further down the road. So you can see this one right here. This one gave me 76 subs. Let's go over to the Bee Swarm one, and the Bee Swarm one was actually really good for me. So you can see if I got 413 subs from that. And I'm going to explain this. So first off, look at the views. That's really good. I'm really happy with the 27,000 view video. But let's kind of wander over here to the right. Why or where did these views come from? So this is important for you. So you can see we got browse features, we got suggested videos. Suggested videos is huge. 26.5% were suggested by another channel. And then this is the secondary most important thing here is YouTube search. 14% of my traffic is from YouTube search. Anytime this is up above 10%, you know, you have a really good video on your hands, because typically what you're going to find is if it's got really low search volume, it's going to be maybe like 1%, maybe 0.5% is going to be YouTube search. The reason why these are important is because that means your video was so good, it kicked into YouTube's algorithm and it actually started favoring you, right? So they started suggesting your video a lot more. So you can see it started out pretty well, and it just started like it rapidly inclined. Like you see this is after just the first day, right? And then second day, and you can see it's just still exploding, and it's still going, and it's still going. And it's because there's search volume too. So that's important. It's because there's search volume, I'm getting rewarded for making this video. And, you know, granted, this is just like also a really well-known game. There's a lot of players on this game, so it was just the right game to do. And let's go look at a couple other metrics here. So let's look at the reach. So you can see impressions, click-through rate, 8% is not great. You want to be higher than 8% if you can. But you can see here, it was actually really high. Like 22% means your channel is going to blow up. If you're above 10%, I would say you're in a pretty good growth rate. Any less, like if you're around 3 or 4, you're kind of struggling. 8%, I'm not upset with it. It's just, it's mediocre. Down here though, it's actually pretty important for you to see like when to post. So when your viewers are actually active. So typically what I would want to do if I see these really, really dark right here, and it's really light right here, I don't want to post before 6 a.m. So, I mean, I can, but depending on the day, but I really want to post around 6 a.m. itself. So that would be a good time to go. Or, you know, you could do like 5 a.m. technically, but you typically want to be around here before it starts getting dark. And then you don't want to post after 6 p.m. The problem is I tend to post often around here, which will actually stunt my growth. So I hope I gave you a lot of ideas on how you can get, you know, to your first 1,000 subscribers. I can almost guarantee you're going to actually see some really great results right away. It doesn't take long for you to start seeing those results. I will actually be continuing the series into how to get monetized, how to build a membership program. So if you want to, you know, actually enable memberships on your channel, you could do so. Enabling super chats, you know, how to configure your streams for YouTube, how to get your channel verified, and all that fun stuff. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss those videos. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.